Everything has a beginning. And for United States commemorative coins, that beginning was in 1892. The country was getting ready for a huge party, the world's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. This was a massive World's Fair to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus arriving in the Americas. The organizers needed a lot of money to build the amazing White City, as they called it. So they came up with a brand new idea. They asked the United States government to make a special coin just for the event. The plan was to sell these coins for more than their face value. The extra money would go straight to funding the fair. It was a genius fundraising idea that nobody had tried before with American money. The coin they created was the Columbian Exposition Half Dollar. It was the first time the United States Mint had ever produced a coin that wasn't meant for everyday pocket change. On one side, it had a portrait of Christopher Columbus. On the other side, it showed his famous ship, the Santa Maria, sailing over two globes representing the Old and New Worlds. The design was a big deal. People were used to seeing liberty on their coins, not a real person. This coin broke that tradition. It was a piece of history you could hold in your hand, a souvenir from one of the biggest events of the century. When the coins were released, they were sold for $1 each, which was double their 50-cent face value. The public was excited. Owning one was like owning a small piece of the Grand Exposition itself. Millions of these half dollars were minted, and they were sold at banks and post offices across the country, as well as at the fairgrounds in Chicago. While they didn't sell every single coin they made, the program was a huge success. It raised a lot of money and proved that people loved the idea of special coins for special occasions. This single coin opened the door for a whole new world of coin collecting. The Columbian half dollar set the stage for everything that came after it. It established the basic model for commemorative coins: celebrate a person, place, or event, and use the profits to fund something important. It showed that coins could be more than just money. They could be miniature monuments, telling stories about American history and culture. From this one coin, a tradition was born that would last for decades, go away for a while, and then come back stronger than ever. It all started here, with a big fair in Chicago and a silver half dollar that changed the game. So, why did the United States government get into the business of making these special coins? It really boils down to two main reasons: celebrating history and raising money. Think about it. America is a country with a lot of important anniversaries, famous people, and big events. A commemorative coin is like a small metal trophy that everyone can have. It's a way for the whole country to remember something significant, like the founding of a state, a major battle, or the achievements of a great leader. These coins turn a piece of currency into a history lesson you can hold in your hand. They become keepsakes passed down through generations. The fundraising part is just as important, maybe even more so. Building monuments, running fairs, or funding museums costs a lot of money. Instead of just asking for donations, organizations could lobby Congress to authorize a special coin. They would buy the coins from the mint at their face value and then sell them to the public at a premium. All the extra money, called a surcharge, would go directly to their cause. It was a clever way to raise funds because people felt like they were getting something valuable in return for their contribution. A limited edition, beautifully designed coin. It's a win-win. The organization gets its funding, and the public gets a unique collectible. During the early days, these coins were mostly tied to local celebrations. A town in Illinois celebrating its 100th anniversary, or a state like Maine marking its centennial, would get its own half dollar. It was a way for communities to feel a sense of national pride and recognition. The coin designs often featured local landmarks, historical figures, or symbols that were important to that specific region. This made the coins very personal for the people living there, and it also gave collectors from other parts of the country a small window into the history of different American towns and states. This model worked for a long time. It allowed dozens of different groups to fund their projects, from preserving historic battlefields to building auditoriums. The themes were a reflection of what America cared about at the time: pioneering spirit, westward expansion, and civic pride. Each coin tells a story not just about the event it commemorates, but also about the people who worked so hard to make it happen. They saw a coin as more than just silver. They saw it as a way to build a lasting legacy for their community. and for a long time, it was the best tool they had. The classic era of commemorative coins, which ran from 1892 to 1954, was a wild ride. It started with the Columbian coins and just kept going. After the success of the Chicago Fair coins, other events wanted in on the action. In 1893, they made the Isabella quarter, the first and only United States commemorative quarter of that era. It was created for the Board of Lady Managers of the Columbian Exposition and featured Queen Isabella of Spain, who funded Columbus's voyage. It was also the first United States coin to feature a real woman. Then came the Lafayette dollar in 1900, honoring the Marquis de Lafayette and showing him with George Washington. It was the first United States dollar coin to feature a president. The 1910s and 1920s saw a steady stream of coins for state anniversaries and more expositions. The Panama Pacific International Exposition of 1915 in San Francisco got a whole set of coins, including Media Group, Panama Pacific Exposition Commemorative Coins, 1915, San Francisco World's Fair Historic Coin Set at its stock at distribute_equally, a silver half dollar, a gold dollar, a quarter eagle, and even two massive $50 gold pieces, one round, one octagonal. These are some of the most beautiful and valuable United States coins ever made. Then you had coins for the centennials of states like Illinois, Maine, and Missouri. Each coin had a unique design that told a piece of that state's story, often showing pioneers, Native Americans, or important local figures. These coins were hugely popular with collectors. The real boom, though, happened in the 1930s. Even during the Great Depression, the demand for new commemorative coins exploded. It seemed like every state, city, and anniversary wanted its own coin. You had coins like the Daniel Boone Bicentennial Half Dollar, the Texas Independence Centennial Half Dollar, and the Oregon Trail Memorial Half Dollar. The Oregon Trail coin was so popular that they kept minting it with different dates for over a decade. This period saw some of the most iconic and artistic designs in American coinage. The artists were given a lot of freedom, and they created some truly stunning pieces of miniature sculpture that captured the romance of American history. But this boom also led to problems. Some promotions were not handled very well. To create more varieties for collectors to chase, some coins were minted in very small numbers at all three mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and in multiple years. This was seen by many as a way to exploit collectors, forcing them to buy many different coins to complete a set. The most famous example is the 1936 Cincinnati Musical Center Half Dollar, which was actually for a private group of promoters, not a real anniversary. These issues started to give the whole program a bad name and eventually led to its downfall. By the late 1930s, the party was winding down for classic-era commemoratives. The main problem was that the program was getting out of control. What started as a noble way to celebrate history and raise funds was turning into a bit of a racket. Coin collectors and government officials started to get worried. The sheer number of different coins being issued was overwhelming. In 1936 alone, there were over 20 different commemorative half dollars issued. It was just too much. Collectors felt like they were being taken advantage of, with promoters creating artificial rarities by minting the same coin design over multiple years and at different mints. President Franklin D. Roosevelt himself became concerned. He was a coin collector, so he understood the hobby. He saw that the integrity of the commemorative program was at risk. In 1938, he vetoed a bill for a new commemorative coin, sending a clear message that the flood of new issues needed to stop. Congress got the hint and became much more reluctant to approve new coin bills. The United States Treasury Department was also getting tired of the headaches. They argued that having so many different half-dollar designs circulating at once could confuse the public and even encourage counterfeiting, though they were mostly sold to collectors. The final years of the classic era saw only a few more coins. The last major series was the Booker T. Washington half dollar, first minted in 1946. This coin was followed by the Carver Washington half dollar, which was minted from 1951 to 1954. This last coin was intended to oppose the spread of communism among Negroes in the interest of national defense. It was a strange and unfocused theme, and the coin wasn't very popular. It marked a quiet end to a once vibrant era. After 1954, Congress decided to put a stop to all new commemorative coin legislation. The program was officially put on ice. For nearly 30 years, from 1954 to 1982, the United States did not produce a single commemorative coin. The abuses of the 1930s had left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. The government decided it was better to have no program at all than to have one that was poorly managed and open to exploitation. The classic commemoratives became a closed set, a finished chapter in American numismatic history. Collectors could now focus on completing their sets without worrying about a new coin popping up every few months. The era of beautiful, chaotic, and controversial classic commemoratives was over. After a long break of 28 years, the silence was finally broken. In 1982, the United States Mint dipped its toes back into the commemorative coin business. The occasion was the 250th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. This was a safe and patriotic theme that, honestly, everyone could get behind. Congress authorized the production of a new half dollar, the first U.S. commemorative coin since 1954. Now, this wasn't just about making a new collectible. It was a test. Could the Mint run a commemorative program that was responsible, popular, and free of the problems that plagued the old one? The nation was about to find out. The George Washington 250th anniversary half dollar was a huge deal. It featured a modern-style portrait of Washington on horseback on one side, and his home, Mount Vernon, on the other. Unlike the old commemoratives, which were all 90% silver, this new coin was made of a copper nickel-clad composition, just like the dimes, quarters, and half dollars of the day. A special collector version was also struck in 90% silver, which was a big draw for numismatists. The program was a massive success. The Mint sold millions of the coins, and the profits were used to help reduce the national debt. The success of the Washington half dollar proved that the American public was still very much interested in commemorative coins. It showed the government that there was a way to do this right. The key was to have stricter rules. From now on, Congress would authorize only a few programs each year. The themes would be of clear national importance, not just some local festival. And a portion of the sales price, the surcharge, would be clearly designated for a specific, vetted organization or cause. This new model was designed to prevent the abuses of the past and restore public trust in the program. This single coin reignited the entire field of modern U.S. numismatics. It was the start of what we now call the modern era of commemorative coins. The floodgates didn't open all at once like in the 1930s. Instead, it was a slow and steady stream of new issues. The Mint had learned its lesson. The revival was careful, calculated, and focused on quality over quantity. The George Washington half dollar wasn't just a coin. It was a promise of a new, more organized, and more meaningful era for American commemorative coinage. It set the standard for all the modern issues that would follow. The modern era, which began in 1982, brought with it a whole new set of themes that reflected a changing America. While the classic era focused heavily on state anniversaries and historical expositions, the new coins looked at a wider range of subjects. One of the biggest new themes was the Olympic Games. In 1983 and 1984, the Mint released a series of coins for the Los Angeles Summer Olympics. This included the first United States commemorative gold coin since 1926. The Olympics became a recurring theme, with coins issued for the Games in Atlanta, Salt Lake City, and other host cities in later years. Another major theme was the celebration of national symbols and monuments. In 1986, the Mint issued coins to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Statue of Liberty. This program was incredibly successful and raised millions of dollars for the restoration of the statue and Ellis Island. The coins, which included a clad half dollar, a silver dollar, and a $5 gold piece, were very popular with the American public. This was followed by coins for the 200th anniversary of the United States Constitution, the bicentennial of Congress, and the 50th anniversary of Mount Rushmore. These coins helped connect Americans to their core democratic values and landmarks. The modern era also began to honor a more diverse group of people and events. While the classic era mostly focused on early American history and pioneers, modern coins started to tell a broader story. In 1997, a coin was issued to honor Jackie Robinson, breaking the color barrier in baseball. Later, coins would honor figures from the civil rights movement, such as the Little Rock Nine. There were also coins celebrating American innovation and culture, like the World Cup in 1994, the Smithsonian Institution's 150th anniversary, and even the Library of Congress. These themes showed a more inclusive and forward-looking view of American history. Space exploration also became a popular subject. The Final Frontier was a perfect theme for a commemorative coin, capturing the nation's spirit of discovery and technological achievement. One of the most significant examples of this was the series of coins issued for the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. These coins were not just metal discs, they were symbols of one of humanity's greatest achievements. By expanding the range of topics, the modern era ensured that commemorative coins remained relevant to a new generation of Americans, telling stories that resonated with the experiences and values of the late 20th and early 21st centuries. The modern era has produced some truly memorable coins that have become favorites among collectors and the general public. The 1984 Los Angeles Olympics coins were a huge hit, especially the $10 gold eagle featuring two runners with the Olympic torch. It was the first time in over 50 years that the United States had minted a gold commemorative, and people were excited to own one. Then, in 1986, the Statue of Liberty coins took the country by storm. The designs were classic and powerful, and the cause was something everyone could support. That program set a new record for sales and showed how powerful a well-run commemorative program could be. Another standout was the 1990 Eisenhower Centennial Silver Dollar. It featured a unique double portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, showing him as both a five-star general and as president. It was a clever design that told a story, and it really appealed to people who remembered him as a World War II hero and a respected leader. The 1994 World Cup coins were also a big success, tapping into the growing popularity of soccer in the United States. This was the first time the United States had ever put a soccer player on a coin, and it showed that the mint was willing to embrace modern, international themes. In the new millennium, the mint continued to innovate. The 2001 American Buffalo Silver Dollar was a modern recreation of the famous 1913 Buffalo nickel design by James Earl Fraser. Collectors loved it. It was so popular that it helped inspire the creation of the permanent American Buffalo Gold Bullion coin series a few years later. Another highlight was the 2009 Abraham Lincoln Bicentennial Silver Dollar. The design, based on the statue inside the Lincoln Memorial, was dignified and powerful. These coins that honor beloved historical figures or classic designs always tend to do well because they tap into a deep sense of nostalgia and patriotism. The programs have also become more creative in their design and composition. For example, some coins have featured colorization or have been struck in unique shapes. The National Baseball Hall of Fame coins from 2014 were curved, shaped like a baseball dome, which was a first for the United States Mint. This kind of innovation keeps collectors interested and shows that the mint is not afraid to try new things. These big hits of the modern era demonstrate a commitment to quality design, popular themes, and creative new approaches that keep the program fresh and exciting for everyone. Of all the modern commemorative coins, one program stands out as a true masterpiece: the 2019 Apollo 11 50th Anniversary coins. This wasn't just another coin program, it was a national event. The landing on the moon in 1969 was one of the proudest moments in American history, and these coins were designed to capture that sense of wonder and achievement. The program included a clad half dollar, a silver dollar, a $5 gold piece, and even a massive 5-ounce silver dollar. All of them shared a groundbreaking design that pushed the boundaries of what a coin could look like. The most incredible feature of these coins was their shape. Just like the Baseball Hall of Fame coins, they were curved. The obverse, or head side, was concave, sinking inward. It featured the footprint of an astronaut on the lunar surface, a simple but incredibly powerful image. The reverse, or tail side, was convex, bulging outward. It showed a reflection of the lunar lander, the American flag, and astronaut Neil Armstrong in the visor of Buzz Aldrin's helmet. This design was not only beautiful but also technically brilliant. It made you feel like you were looking at the moon's surface and seeing the reflection in the helmet yourself. The Apollo 11 coins were an instant sensation. They sold out quickly and were praised by collectors, critics, and the public alike. The design was so impressive that the silver dollar won the prestigious Coin of the Year award for 2021, a global competition that recognizes the best in coin design from mints all over the world. It was a huge honor for the United States Mint and a testament to the skill of the artists and engravers who brought the design to life. The award confirmed what collectors already knew. This was one of the greatest commemorative coins ever made. The success of the Apollo 11 program showed the full potential of modern commemorative coinage. It combined a theme of immense national pride with a cutting-edge artistic design. The surcharges from the sales went to worthy causes, including the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum's Destination Moon exhibit and scholarships for students in science and technology. The program was a perfect example of how to do it right. Honor a great moment in history, create a beautiful and innovative product, and use the proceeds to inspire the next generation. It was a fitting tribute to a moment when America reached for the stars and succeeded. When you put the classic and modern eras of United States commemorative coins side by side, you get a fascinating look at how America has changed over the last century. The classic era from 1892 to 1954 was all about building a nation and celebrating its roots. The coins from this time tell stories of pioneers, westward expansion, state centennials, and local pride. They reflect a country that was still defining itself, looking back at its 19th century history with a sense of romance and adventure. The designs were often bold and artistic, but the program itself was a bit like the Wild West, full of energy and excitement, but also a little chaotic and unregulated. The modern era, from 1982 to today, tells a different story. It reflects a more mature, complex, and globally aware America. The themes are broader, more inclusive, and more diverse. We see coins honoring sports heroes, civil rights leaders, scientific achievements, and national symbols that unite the whole country. The program is much more organized and professional, with strict rules to prevent the problems of the past. The coins themselves have also evolved, with new technologies allowing for innovative designs like curved surfaces and colorization. It's a program that looks forward as much as it looks back. What both eras share is a common purpose: to use our nation's money to tell our nation's story. Each coin is a time capsule, capturing what Americans valued and wanted to celebrate at a particular moment in time. Whether it's a $50 for a World's Fair in 1892 or a curved coin for a moon landing in 2019, these pieces of metal connect us to our past. They are tangible reminders of our history, our heroes, and our greatest achievements. They are more than just collectibles. They are miniature monuments that fit in the palm of your hand. In the end, the evolution of commemorative coins mirrors the evolution of America itself. The journey from the Columbian half dollar to the Apollo 11 dollar is a long one, marked by periods of great creativity, controversy, silence, and rebirth. It's a story of learning from mistakes and finding new ways to celebrate an ever-changing national identity. And as a guy who sees history walk through my door every day, I can tell you this: these coins are some of the best storytellers we have. They are a beautiful and lasting record of the American experience, written in silver and gold.